There are 8 teams left in the battle for the Lombardi Trophy, including the 49ers, who head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. We've got Shanny versus LaFleur, Debo versus the Green Bay D, and Jimmy GQ versus Joe Dirt. Keep on keeping on.
Burrow throws it toward the back of the end zone. Boyd leaps. He makes the catch. It's ruled a touchdown.
Plus, Joey B and the Bengals roll into Nashville, where King Henry returns. No jokes here, because I'd like a quiet night in my mentions, Titans fans. Picks for those, the Sunday slate, and much more right now on Game Day View. Hello, hello, welcome to Game Day View, fueled by Gatorade. Greatness starts with a G. Greg, are you working for Gatorade now?
That's right, 60% G. That's what we're fueled by.
Their real tagline. I'm sure we're going to be able to say it over and over and over again this show.
Wait.
Hawk joins me. Cynthia Freeland joins me. Greg Rosenthal. Gatorade's fueled with a G. Guys, we only have a few more weeks left together. This is our record so far. Dun, dun, dun. We have to start on such a negative note.
Over. I like it. We wiped the slate. That's beautiful. I'm not in last anymore.
Oh, well, you're right at the bottom still with me, Greg. So. Does greatness start with a G? Well,
I think it starts with a hawk, but whatever.
All right, let's get to some of these games. We're going to break down just about absolutely everything. Jimmy GQ wants all y'all to keep talking trash because it's only making him better. Well, we will see about that. The 49ers head to a very frigid Green Bay to take on the Packers, and I believe Aaron Rodgers calls 12 degrees balmy. Packers favored by 5.5 against the warm bloods. Who you like, Hawk?
I'm going with the upset outright. I got the 49ers winning 27-24, and it comes down to the matchup everyone's talking about, which is Coach LaFleur versus Coach Shanahan. These are two people that are very familiar with each other, and the reason why I give Shanahan the edge is because he's one of those people who always sees the negative in people, right? You ever had a friend like that that's like, they know how to get under your skin?
It might be me.
You do something great, but they're like, yeah, but you didn't do this part of it. Well, that's how Shanahan naturally looks, and it makes him a good coach because that's why he's able to exploit people's weaknesses. And the coaches who coach with him hate coaching against him because they know that he sees those things. And I expect him to do that again this week against LaFleur and the Packers because he's watching. He knows you. And he is going to exploit you in front of the entire United States of America.
Wow, them fighting words. Cynthia, who do you like in this one?
Okay, I have the Packers. This one actually just updated now that we know that Nick Bosa is playing. I have 27-22, so just a 5-point win for the Packers. I'm sure Greg will have some comments for me on that one. When I look at this game, it's really about Aaron Rodgers and no pressure versus pressure. When you look to see, nobody has a higher passer rating in the regular season than Aaron Rodgers did when he wasn't under pressure, so keeping him clean. Left tackle David Bakhtiari may play, may not, maybe a limited snap count, etc. And with Nick Bosa back, that could be different because guess what? He has the biggest decline in his passer rating when he's under pressure versus when he's not. So more than any other person, this one could very, very much come down to pressure for me.
I love that, and I love being on the same side in terms of the line as Cynthia, but I'm going with Hawk. I'm going all the way. My favorite pick all week is 49ers plus 5.5, so you might as well go all the way because they match up so well with the Green Bay Packers. First, it's the running game. You've watched the 49ers and what they do offensively with Deebo Samuel in the backfield, making it so tough. The first time these two teams met, Deebo wasn't running the ball, Elijah Mitchell wasn't in the mix, and they're going up against the 30th ranked rush defense according to EPA. That's not 30th ranked in the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's for the season, this Packers rush defense. Then Cynthia mentions what happens when Aaron Rodgers under pressure. This front four for the 49ers have been getting after against two of the very best offensive lines in the league, the Cowboys and the Rams in back-to-back weeks. They've been in the playoffs. What have the Packers been doing? When was the last time they played a meaningful game? They were playing against Sean Mannion.
Pedicure.
Having naps.
Please.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Listen, I believed in magic last Saturday. I was on both underdogs. Both favorites won in the wild card last Saturday.
Yeah.
You would think that I would have learned my lesson going into this Saturday. Give me the 49ers!
No.
Okay, so wait a minute. I'm the only one on the Packers.
You're the only one.
Please, Packers, go Pack, go. Please, come on. What is going on? I'm shocked.
We're
Do you guys
nuts.
remember another game that the majority of us were on an underdog that wasn't just a 3-point underdog? Like 5.5? I don't think we've ever done this
You know
before.
how, like, every year you just kind of fall in love with some wild card team and then you overrate them a little bit going against.
That's all
They're
of
getting
y'all.
hot at
That's
the right
all
time,
of y'all.
what we're
Yeah.
doing.
How am I?
This guy is.
Listen, thank you for the free pick, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the one game lead right here.
When was the last
Thank
time
you,
the Packers played a real team? It was the Rams back in November.
I'm sorry,
They're
you are
barely
who you're-
beating the Browns. They're behind
When
against
this
the
happened,
Lions.
I can't believe the Packers is the one that I get to be alone on. I mean, I don't know about the other
Let
ones.
us
but-
know. Are
Can
we
I
nuts?
also say I love
Let us
LaFleur. I think he's a great coach.
No, you can't walk it back.
No, I'm not walking it back. I'm just saying there's always that one person that gets under your skin and you just can't get over the top of.
Have you seen his
and
eyebrows?
that's
He
been
doesn't care.
Shanahan.
49ers
care.
just
Have you
keep
seen
on
those eyebrows? Come
figuring
on.
it out. 20-27, I'm going 49ers. All right, let's move on to this next one. Alert the castle. Spread word about the kingdom. King
Oh, boy.
Henry I is making his
back.
triumphant return to the Titans, baby, and just in time. They are at home in Nashville taking on a red-hot Bengals team who hasn't been in this position in centuries.
Thanks for that.
The royal family, sorry. Titans are favored by 3.5. Cynthia, who do you like in this one?
This one comes down to who's back, meaning both Trey Hendrickson, he cleared the concussion protocol, and Derrick Henry are back, which means the edge goes ever so slightly by 1 point to the Titans, 25-20.
TV Pro stretching that out.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, there
Obviously,
you go.
I have to build up the suspense.
Got us on the edge of our
I'm
seats.
clearly a TV pro. That's what I'm known for. So look, when I think about Derrick Henry, people are questioning, analytics Twitter. They're like, do running backs matter? Yeah, actually, certain running backs do matter. This one is a unicorn. He has a really nice unicorn horn. You can see it. And he changes the way defenses have to account for him. He changes the opportunity for the O-line. He changes the opportunity for play-action pass for his quarterback. So Derrick Henry makes everything different 25-24.
Wait, what was that analytics voice? Analytics Twitter voice?
Running backs don't matter. Some running backs do matter.
Greg, what do you like in this one?
I like the Titans by 6 points.
Woo!
Going
Spicy.
a little bigger because the Titans are bigger. This offensive line, when they lean on you in the running game, are a problem. The Bengals don't play many guys up front. Even though they have Hendrickson back, they just play their starters. They leave them out there all game. You get worn down, and I think the Titans' offensive line are too tough for them. Their defensive line, just as big, even more ferocious. Think they can get pressure on Joe Burrow, especially in the interior, whether it's Jeffrey Simmons moving Danico Autry. It is a lot of problems, and this Bengals offensive line struggles blocking for the interior. And then finally, it's Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel versus Zach Taylor. This is the biggest mismatch of divisional round weekend. He comes up with great game plans that change week to week. I'm just not feeling it with Zach Taylor. Sorry about your boy there.
Hawk,
Yeah,
are you joining the popular kids over here?
I love Raevo. I think he's my coach of the year, but I got to be honest, I'm going with the Who Dey Nation on this one. I'm going 23-17 for the Bengals. Now, these are two really, I feel like, evenly matched teams. But when I think about the Titans when they're at their best and the Bengals when they're at their best, I give the edge to the Bengals. When I think about them at their worst, I still give the edge to the Bengals. And that's why I went with this pick. And I'm looking at these receivers as a difference maker. Like, yes, Joe Burrow is a beast. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in this league and will be for years to come. But the reason why we can all see that at full display is because of the guys he has on the outside. Jamar Chase, Higgins, Tyler Boyd, one of the most underrated receivers in the league. And I feel like they match up great against the Titans secondary, who has been giving up yards and fantasy points to receivers all season long. So I have the Bengals coming out here with a W.
I am with you, Hawk. I've got the Bengals as well. And let me ask you, obviously we're all so excited to have Derrick Henry back, but the man missed 9 games. Hawk, you've played in the NFL. We hear about it every single show.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Hawk's played in the NFL.
got it.
I was the Tyler Boyd of my era.
Let me ask you
Didn't
this.
win.
Like, a guy misses 9 games. Are you really expecting him to show up and look like the Derrick Henry that he looked like before he left?
Well, no, not me, but
I seen if Derrick Henry was on your team.
But Derrick Henry didn't look like, I wouldn't expect anyone to look like Derrick Henry at any point because he's kind of a mutant. And so I would say no, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he came back like the machine we've seen him. But you're right, Cynthia.
I just can't.
As long as you're picking the Bengals, I agree.
I just can't imagine him coming back looking like he did before. So I am on the Bengals, 31-28. All right, next on Game Day View, we are diving into individual numbers in proper performances. Don't go anywhere.
Rodgers stands alone in the gun. Throws right side. Making the catch. Lazard diving. Pylon. Touchdown. And there it is. Number 443. The historic milestone in an iconic career.
Congratulations, man, on passing my touchdown record. I have one request. Go get us another Super Bowl. Congrats.
Aaron Rodgers, the most prolific touchdown passer in Green Bay Packers history.
All right, let's talk individuals and proper performances presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. We just saw the man. Let's talk about some quarterbacks. Who do you like, Cynthia?
Well, since none of you are on the Packers, I'm going to double down here. And Aaron Rodgers is going to have more than 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Ooh.
This man is going to be angry. He has, he's heard all the media narratives. He knows what's going on. He's playing loose. I don't know, James Jones told us that he talked to him on the phone and that he is feeling good, which is not an analytics take at all. But I think that Aaron Rodgers...
I'm really not feeling this. I'm going to go home.
You know what? He's like, calm, cool, collected, and he's going to just absolutely go out there and exact revenge on this.
Wow, I don't know. He's such an alternative thinker. Maybe he would appreciate us picking the 49ers.
Greg, which quarterback do you like?
I'm going less than 229.5 passing yards for Jimmy G. It's not about Jimmy G playing poorly. It's him not needing to throw. Kyle Shanahan, in the Jimmy G era, has run the ball on 61% of playoff snaps. If he doesn't need to run the ball, throw the ball, he's not going to. And I don't think he's going to need to throw it that much against Green Bay because their running game is going to be working. I think their defense will keep the score low, and then he's just going to be conservative. So let's just give Jimmy G like a nice 15 for 20, 175, and a dub.
He needs to survive. That's all we need from him.
That's not negative.
Cynthia, wide receiver, who do you like?
Okay, I'm going with Jamar Chase here, and I know that Hawk's going to like this one.
Oh, yeah.
I love this deep situation. I think more than 5.5 receptions at the Titans, which means at least 6. That seems very achievable. The Titans, if they try to play any of the single high safety looks, look out. It's going to be Jamar Chase all day. So I think this one's like at least 6 receptions, maybe even 7. This one seems low to me.
Ooh, Hawk?
Yeah, I'm going with A.J. Brown for more than 74.5 receiving yards. I think that when this game gets going, to Rachel's point, to be very clear about who I'm talking about, that the Titans are going to have a little trouble finding their rhythm. And when they start to figure it out, they're going to have to be passing the ball. And A.J. Brown is the biggest option and the only option really on the outside because Julio Jones hasn't exactly lived up to what we expected.
Yeah. Running back, Cynthia, who do you like?
I like Elijah Mitchell, and I think he's going to score a touchdown. Doesn't have to be the first one of the game. It just has to happen at some point. And I think that the Packers D, you pointed out, Greg, they do have some flaws. One of them is defending and stopping the run. In the past 3 games, 5.6 yards per carry allowed. I think that Kyle Shanahan does know how to dial up some runs, but it's just going to mean that Aaron Rodgers is more likely to throw for more touchdown passes because they're going to have to.
You just keep bringing it around to
I'm going to be hammering.
You're like a
Packers fans really need, please come out, help me, Packers fans.
I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot about this, these picks and our mentions. I like Deebo Samuel, more than 38.5 rushing yards at Packers. The man is a song and dance man, okay? He has had 117 rushing yards in the last 2 games. I also like 53.5 receiving yards over. I think he balls out this weekend. I can't wait to see what he does. All right, here is what's coming up on game day morning this weekend. Take a look.
Get set for Divisional Playoff Weekend with NFL Game Day morning, Saturday at noon and Sunday at 11. Saturday, Aaron Rodgers starts his quest for a 2nd Super Bowl at home against the Niners. He explains to Kay Adams why another ring would be especially sweet.
A lot of guys on the squad who don't know what that feeling is like because there's nothing like it.
Then on Sunday,
Josh guns one, touchdown Buffalo.
Josh Allen played a nearly flawless game last week. The Bills quarterback opens up to Mooch about what it will take to keep up with KC this week.
In order to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we got an opportunity on Sunday night.
Plus, ahead of his showdown with Tom Brady and the Bucs, Matthew Stafford sits down with Michael Irvin.
I got to go out there and face Aaron Donald every day in practice, so if you're not ready to go, it can get ugly.
All that and more on NFL Game Day morning, Saturday at noon and Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
So, Hawk, that was Rachel on the left of that graphic there. Just so you
look good, Cynthia.
on the right.
You look good.
Got it. Okay.
All right, it's time
I'll write that
for
down.
Refresh Spotlight presented by Subway. You guys are so jealous of us. Let's talk about every game this weekend. Which will be the highest scoring? I'm going to go Chiefs and Bills. Both teams put up 40 burgers last weekend. I think this is going to be a really exciting, high-scoring game. Hawk, what do you like?
I like the Chiefs and Bills, too. I think this matchup between Mahomes and Allen is as even as possible. Like, Allen is finally as mature in his game as Mahomes is, and I think they're both going to be lighting it up.
Does this count as a meme alert?
Cross the
Because we all picked
board.
the same thing.
Meme alert.
I think it's a meme alert. It's definitely a meme alert.
Cynthia, what do you like this?
I mean, look, I have the same thing as everyone else. I think this one's going to be a nice, fun one to end the weekend. And I think what I do like is that neither quarterback is going to rush for as many yards as other people are thinking.
See, unlike, the folks on analytics Twitter, Cynthia likes to talk about, we're for the biggest brains in the football universe. If we agree on something, this is it.
Take
You're
it
going
to
to
the
be right.
bank, like the Cowboys last
Wow. All right, how about the lowest scoring game of the weekend? I'm going Rams and Bucks. I'm kind of down on Tom Brady this weekend. We're going to talk about this game a little bit later. Hawk, what do you like?
I'm going Bengals Titans. I think Joe Burrow has a big game. He throws it all over the yard, but they have trouble getting in the end zone. Like I said, I had this score 23-17, so I think it's the lowest scoring.
Cynthia, you're also in the same game.
I'm in the same game. I think Titans mean that there's going to be more rushes by Derrick Henry, fewer possessions just in that game overall.
Greg, Rams,
I'm with
Bucks
you.
with me.
Yeah, I think both of these defenses are playing the best they've played all year. I think they can both win the matchups up front. I think a lot of pass rush pressure, and it's going to be a little more of a defensive game than people expect.
All right. Who do you think has the most passing yards this weekend, Greg?
Ooh, who do I? I like Patrick Mahomes. In this matchup against the Bills, you look at all the stats, and they're great for Buffalo's defense, but look at the opponents. They have been about as good as their opponent. It's similar to the Chiefs' defense. That's why we expect a lot of points in this game on both sides, but I think the Chiefs will be more pass-heavy, and that plus 450, ooh, that's just calling my name. I like
No
that.
Tre'Davious White, too. I love that. Smart.
Hawk, most receiving yards this weekend.
Even though we didn't pick the Packers, guys,
I did.
Cynthia
Okay.
will continue to remind us.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with Devante Adams. I think he's the biggest game breaker left in the playoffs at wide receiver. And, yeah, they're going to have to go to him early and often. Regardless if they win or not, the offense runs through him.
Plus 500, that's nice. Cynthia, most rush yards this weekend.
I know it's controversial, but I think Derrick Henry is going to
Ooh.
take this one.
Boring.
Boring? I mean, plus 300. Do you think that's boring? Who doesn't like being a winner and getting good odds to do it?
Okay.
When I look at Derrick Henry, I think he's going to be ready. I understand he missed a bunch of games. I understand there's an injury involved, but this is Derrick Henry in a playoff game. Everybody's disrespecting the Titans. I know that Mike Vrabel is watching the show, and he saw us start like, oh.
You didn't even have them
Hawk and
covering.
Rachel,
You were disrespecting
Hawk and Rachel
them.
picked the
Listen, I'm
Bengals.
terrified. I'm scared. I didn't say I wasn't.
Man.
I hope we all get to watch him ball out. That would be awesome. But shaking
No,
in my
no,
little
it
boots.
would not. Not this week.
Shaking in my little boots. All right, coming up, our picks for Sunday's slate. But first, our point totals for Saturday's matchups. That is what is coming next. I'm going anywhere. right, it is more or less time. We got a couple of games, we got a couple of props. We're going to tell you what we are thinking. Let's start with Bengals at Titans. Over, under, more or less, 47.5. I am going more, Hawk, less.
Less, yeah. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of running in this one. I think Joe Burrow throws it a lot, but I think they have trouble turning those red zone trips into touchdowns.
Cynthia, you're on the more. How come?
I mean, I think the number is just a little bit too low considering both of these teams' ability to score. But I told you this is the lowest scoring game of the weekend, which means we're in for a fun weekend, if this one.
Oh, all right, next game, 49ers at Packers, over, under, 47.5. I have more, but this is a California team heading into a very cold situation. I could totally see this being less. Greg, why are you on the less?
Yeah, that's part of it. It's going to get down to the single digits in terms of temperature. I think the 49ers can shorten this game with the running game. And again, it's going to be hard to throw the ball deep when it's 0 degrees out.
Not for Aaron Rodgers, it won't be.
Hawk, are you worried about the temperature?
I'm not. I think it'll be more. I think the running game will get going. They'll have some really big runs from Deebo Samuel.
There you go. I love that. All right, Derrick Henry, 80.5 rushing yards.
Oh, Cynthia, and that was like the one you really believe in. So you don't think
Cynthia,
Donta Foreman's going to get any love this weekend?
I think he's going to get some love. I just think that they're going to create a lot of run. All Derrick Henry really needs is like one of those to break out. Like remember,
he is a magic man.
He does have like that. That is what he does.
The king.
He does run like Forrest Gump.
Foreman was so good that's why I went less. Just because why not use both of them? That's all right.
All right, and finally, Joe Burrow, 278.5 passing yards. Come on, across the board, right? Oh, I thought you were
No, I'm more.
There. Why are you going more? This guy's balling out.
Joe Burrow, man. This guy is. I like him more and more every time I hear him talk.
Me too. I convince myself that I like him too, like even more. Like I need more. I need more.
He's also a Titan secondary that's better this year, but it's not great. Davis Mills threw a lot in a comeback just a couple weeks.
First quarterback in NFL history to amass 1,200+ passing yards, 10+ passing touchdowns, and throw 0 interceptions over a 3-game span. The man's making history. We'll be right back after this.
I'm gonna throw it.
We're making our picks for Bills, Chiefs, and Rams. Bucks. Stick around.
Oh no! That's terrible.
Fine win.
Josh takes a snap on 2nd and 1 at the 16. Gives it to Singletary, right side, gets first down and more. He's going to cruise into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Devin Singletary, a 16-yard run for the score.
Game Day View is back, and so is Bills Chiefs. To recap, Chiefs won last year's AFC title game matchup, but the Bills clobbered KC earlier this season. Only problem with this game is having to wait until Sunday night.
Give it to me now.
Dropping to throw, Brady looks toward the end zone, throws, caught ball, Evans, he's got a Tampa Bay touchdown, does a somersault, and the Bucs put the dagger in the heart of the Eagles.
Plus another 2021 rematch in Sunday's opener as Tampa hosts LA. Back in week 3, the Rams stomped the GOAT, but this time they're in Florida, where nothing weird has ever happened. Ever. Game Day View, fueled by Gatorade, starts right now.
Welcome to NFL Game Day View, fueled by Gatorade. Greatness starts with a G. That's
right here.
You can't spell greatness without an R either. It's worth mentioning.
That's a very good point.
So there you go. Good for you, Greg.
Which comes first?
Whatever. Guys, let's break down this game. Fun rematch here to close out the divisional weekend. Buffalo is headed to KC to take on the Chiefs. Last year, Patrick Mahomes sent the Bills packing in the AFC Championship game, but this year, in Week 5, Bills kind of kicked their butt. Who wins this one? Smallest favorite of the weekend, Chiefs -1.5. Greg, what do you like?
I am going with the Bills because Josh Allen's best is better than anyone's best right now.
Okay.
I can't believe that. I'm saying that in a matchup with Patrick Mahomes. And the difference
is a Patriots fan.
The difference is the ground game. No, it's not about just the Patriots, although it's a little about the Patriots. He is a great designed run quarterback. He is a great scrambling quarterback. When you look at rushing value in terms of expected points added, he has been the most valuable running quarterback in the NFL this year, more than Lamar Jackson. He has cranked it up ever since the second half of that Bucs game, and I just feel like this offense is so diverse right now because Allen can beat you with his legs, Singletary can beat you with his legs, and we saw what Josh Allen did with his arm last week, and yeah, I'm just afraid and beaten, and I have to go with them. They are now my daddy, I guess, just like Justin Herbert for you, Rachel.
Oh, how dare you bring that up? Hawk, who do you like in this one?
Josh Allen is a dual threat quarterback, and he's very, very good. But I have to go with the quarterback who we've seen in this situation multiple times, and him rise to the occasion every single time, and that's Patrick Mahomes. I have the Chiefs winning 33-27. Listen to these stats from Mahomes in his career in the divisional round. He's 3-0. He throws for 285 yards per game, 6 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns, and the best passer rating of the Super Bowl era in the divisional round at 110.3. I gotta go with that. I can't bet against that. So yes, we've seen him at times maybe not look as great as we've seen him before, but in these biggest moments, when it counts most, and getting a second chance and crack at the Bills, I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes.
Love it.
I'm with you. I have a 1-point win for the Chiefs, 27-26. I know.
That is a small needle to thread. That's the smallest needle
ever.
ever.
Greg. Save it,
Greg.
Anyways, but look, when it comes down to this one for me, it's really the difference in the Chiefs' defense. When the first matchup, they did not have Melvin Ingram. Chris Jones was not playing his natural position. Juan Thornhill was not starting at safety. Dan Sorensen still was. That was actually Dan Sorensen's last time starting. So the new look defense for Josh Allen and this offense is going to have a lot of trouble, especially threading the tiny needle. See that? That's funny. That's really good. That's really good graphics, but I just noticed that. But ultimately, the new look, the different defense, Andy Reid is not going to make that mistake twice, right? It doesn't happen in a season.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm on the Chiefs as well. Greg, let me ask you if this scares you. Patrick Mahomes is 57-15 in his starts, including playoffs. Does that not concern you?
Whenever you start bringing historical stats, that just tells me you don't have anything backing you up.
Historical?
I have something else backing me up. Okay, the Bills' defense, that scares me as well, but I feel like they haven't really been playing anybody of note lately. The Panthers, the Jets, the Patriots. Who cares about the Patriots? They've held their teams to low-scoring games, but that's who they've been playing lately, not a high-powered offense.
I feel like the Bills' defense is a little better. Chiefs' defense struggled. And
what about Tre'Davious White?
Give me the Just Greg graphic. I mean, is it we're undefeated, baby. The Just Greggers out there, 1-0 on the year. Let's make it.
My 1-point win here.
Greggers. Oh, my
Just
Lord.
Gregorade.
Good luck to you, Greg. Good luck to you on that one. All right, let's dive a little deeper on that big Sunday night game. Take a look at this.
Let's go, baby. Chiefs on 3, 1, 2, 3. The whole world watching. Josh going to keep it himself and run it again inside the 5. Touchdown, Buffalo. Off the hands, intercepted by Micah Hyde at the 10. Touchdown, Buffalo. Play for the guy beside you. Play for this stadium. Play for everybody. Step up, firing down the near side. Kelsey at the 20, 15 to the 10. Touchdown! Let's go get it done.
Now he's pressured, gets away from it, fires one into the end zone, and it is caught. How did he make that happen?
Near side, Pringle over the shoulder with the catch.
Touchdown Buffalo again.
Well, they smell blood.
Now they're going to throw it long. The Chiefs want Tyreek Hill over the shoulder. Touchdown! And Mahomes is on fire.
Woo! All right, it's time for Destined for Greatness, fueled by Gatorade. Greatness starts with a G. Why can't Greg say that every time? Cynthia, more passing yards in that one, Allen or Mahomes? What do you
I have Mahomes, but it's only about 25 passing yards. But I have Allen with obviously more rush yards.
All right, Hawk, how about more receiving yards, Diggs or Tyreek Hill?
I'm going with Diggs. I think Allen goes deep a lot, and I think Diggs is going to be the recipient of that. And I think Hill is still a little banged up and not quite getting the most out of him.
All right, Greg, more rush yards, McKinnon or Singletary?
Ooh, I kind of like both of these running backs to go over their expected rushing yards, but Devin Singletary's the guy. You can't take him off the field right now because he's so good in pass pro as well. The last 4 weeks, he has been on fire.
And Fuego. All right, this is going to be such a fun game. Let's move on to the next one. I went to the Rams game last week, and I'm still.
What are you seeing?
I'm sorry, Hawk. I'm having trouble hearing. I can't hear anything anymore.
Sorry.
Okay?
Rachel, sorry.
I don't. After their easy win against the Cardinals, they head down to Florida to take on Tommy B, whom they say they have tremendous respect for, but no fear. We will see if they should be afraid of Tom Brady and the Bucs. Bucs are favored by 3. Hawk, what do you like?
You absolutely should be afraid of Tom Brady, but I still think that the Bucs get the W 28-27 here. I think it's a close game, and the difference maker will be Jalen Ramsey. Can they get Mike Evans going against Jalen Ramsey? I think Jalen's going to be out to avenge a 2017 guarantee from the Jaguars when he said they were going to beat Tom Brady in the AFC Championship. That didn't happen. He's going to be hungry this week. And Mike Evans, they have no AB, no Godwin. So Mike Evans has to get open, and he has to make a big, big difference because the last 2 times he's played Jalen Ramsey, 5 catches, 54 yards, 0 touchdowns.
All right, this is a very close game, 28-27. Cynthia, is your score this close?
It is not. 27-23 is my final score. We're all talking about like Tom Brady and all of the things, this defense, but flip it around. What about the other side? Look at what the Bucs can do. They're getting healthier on defense. Todd Bowles knows how to stop the run. If you stop the run, it is a lot harder to get that Rams offense to get going and work the way that it is structured to do, especially there is no Andrew Whitworth. He was a former Cincinnati Bengal Hawk, so no left tackle in this game. So that's going to be a big difference. So I think that this defense really gives them the edge. And I know we can talk about Tom Brady all we want, but it is really the defense here that makes a difference for me.
I like the way you're talking, and you know I'm a big fan of the Bulls-a-sons. I think it's a defensive game, and yet I think it's the Rams winning this defensive game because their front against the Buccaneers' offensive line is a mismatch that Tom Brady just isn't going to be used to. Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen are playing in this game, but I don't necessarily think they'll be 100%. If you watched Jensen a week ago, he lost his matchups repeatedly against this Eagles defensive tackle. Brady was sacked 4 times. That was the most he was sacked all season. Now you bring Aaron Donald on the road against a Bucs team that they've beaten twice. They beat him with Jared Goff. They beat him with Matthew Stafford early in the year.
3 times?
They're not afraid. They could beat Tom Brady 3 different times, and I think they'll do it with pressure. It's not just Aaron Donald anymore. It's Leonard Floyd. It's Greg Gaines. It's Robinson. This whole group, I think, is special enough, and they'll rise up together.
I agree with you, Greg. I am on the Rams as well. You were at that game on Monday.
I was, and I learned so many things.
What
do you learn
at the game? Because
I was at the Niners game. I was at the Niners game when they folded the week before.
You see different things.
So you've seen it
I saw them lose to the Niners the week before in person.
Beat the brakes off of the Cardinals, okay? They did not let them
losing to the Niners after being up 17 points the week before.
I am going Rams here, 28-24. This offense just looks like they are having the most fun. It pains me to see OBJ so happy, but he's killing it. Cooper Kupp is killing it. Matt Stafford isn't throwing any more interceptions. I think this offense is – Tom Brady's got to stop at some point, right?
Can I change my pick? I'm going to go Rams.
Yeah.
Because if Rachel and Greg had eyes on this game last week,
tear it up.
I can't go against that. I'm going Rams.
Great.
I mean, I had binoculars. I was up in the section, like through those binoculars. You could really learn a lot.
Yeah, Greg and
let's go.
We're riding the graphic.
Where's my prime number?
Land of the free.
Where's my prime number?
Cynthia's by herself.
Here we go. All right, next on Game Day View, we are doubling up our perfect pairs for our Sunday picks are after this. Woo!
We're just giving Cynthia favorites all by herself.
Let her, she's gonna beat us.
Go, she's gonna kill us. All right, everybody get your Yaz flutes out. It's for perfect pair. Ignited by Smirnoff Vodka, number 21. Feel the vibes.
I do.
Feel the music.
Oh, I do.
And feel this. I like Rams +3 and Odell Beckham Jr. He's better off. He is better off. More than 45.5 receiving yards. He's feeling it right now, guys.
That's big of you.
He's looking, I know it. It's very big of me, actually. It's very mature of me.
It is.
Dare I say.
That's what I think. When I think Rachel, I think mature.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take that as honesty instead of what you probably meant to make it sound like. Hawk, what do you like? What's your perfect pair?
I'm going with the Chiefs to win more than 1.5 points, but also the pair that I'm putting with that is that Patrick Mahomes will pass for more than 2.5 passing yards.
Glad you went back to the voice.
This guy balls out every single divisional round, and why should this year be any different, right? Third in the league in passing. I mean, he's got a bad rap, but the guy puts it together, and he puts himself in position every single time.
You could do one of those sleep apps.
Thank you.
Calm.
Cynthia, what do you like? What's your perfect pair?
Okay, I'm going with the Bucks. I think that's an interesting one. I can't believe you guys are letting me be alone on this one. And I think Matthew Stafford throws for fewer than 2.5 touchdowns. I think it's 2, but I think it's fewer than 2.5.
Absolutely.
Buccaneers win this one. Big, huge, 4 points. Matthew Stafford, fewer than 2 passing touchdowns.
Greg, what you got?
I got the Bills. You know why.
He's rubbing his hands
Point and a
together.
half underdogs, and I'm pairing that with a nice little Devin Singletary treat, topping 59.5 yards. I don't know if you watched Devin.
I like that.
I watched that.
What?
Smooth
Watch this.
runner.
Smooth, silky runner. That offensive line blowing up big holes. He's got to run through those holes.
He's going to run through it big time. What a pair.
We done? We ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, we could probably.
All right, that was perfect pair. Ignited by Smirnoff Vodka, number 21. Try Smirnoff's 4th down driver screwdriver for a delicious and classic cocktail while home gating. Please drink responsibly. All right, it is time for Quick Picks. Let's talk touchdown scorers. Will Jerick McKinnon score a touchdown? Yeses across the board.
Wow.
I see.
Going all yeses.
Wow.
Why you guys like Jerick McKinnon to score touchdowns? Cynthia.
Well, first of all, it's great value because the last time I saw it was plus 100, so that's great. I think if you watch to see those outside rushes last week were a new wrinkle, a new fold with this Andy Reid offense that really helps spread things out. So I think that burst, especially off the edge, I think it's going to be a little bit of a shock factor, and I think that's going to be something that the Bills aren't necessarily ready.
Trust
Yeah, they're
your
gonna have to
eyes.
get creative. This Bills
Look
defense.
at this dude.
Yeah.
That's all you need to see.
That's all you got. All right, will OBJ score a touchdown? I have already said yes, he will. He's better off.
Yes.
Greg, you're on the know.
I think it'll be a defensive game. I think it's going to be more about running in the red zone, like most teams. It's asking for a lot. Everyone's saying, okay, OBJ is back. Like, look, he's a difference maker. He's still getting about 40 yards per game, so let's calm down a little bit.
A lot of his touchdowns in LA are in the red zone, though, Greg. So
A lot of his touchdowns.
I mean,
That's a fair point. He pretty much gets one every week. That's
about a
fair
4-yard
point.
touchdown, 6-yard touchdown. Dial him up.
All right, Sony Michel, will he score a touchdown? I'm saying yes, he's due. He hasn't had one in a couple weeks. Cynthia, you are shaking your head no.
I like the Cam Akers situation here
Yes.
better. I have a little bit higher of a value on him in terms of being able to use, again, the surprise factor. We kind of know what Sony Michel has done. He's had maybe 5 or 6 games where Todd Bowles can see that on film, but Cam Akers was really shocking, and that's what jumped them out to that big lead last week against the Cardinals.
Here's what he's done before. He put the Rams out of the playoffs in the Super Bowl a couple years ago when Tom Brady was his quarterback. Now he's going to get his revenge.
Ooh, I love that narrative. All right,
Makes sense.
one more quick pick, and it's a new podcast. Take a look at this.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel Bonetta, and I have my very own podcast called Benched with Bonetta. You kidding me? Woo!
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
You may know me from Game Day View or Game Day Morning on NFL Network. Basically, any shows with the word game in it, odds are you'll find me there. Every week, I'm going to be talking about all the things I find fascinating about the NFL, like how it takes a certain kind of guy with a whole lot of confidence to wear jorts. Or Bill Belichick. Is he my uncle? The answer is definitely no, but I do investigate the question thoroughly.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're going to be doing the usual podcast stuff, breaking down games, questioning Tom Brady's genetic makeup, and we're going to make picks. And if we get them wrong, never mention them again. It's going to be great. I'm also doing something that has never been done before. I'm opening my DMs.
DMs now open.
We want to hear from you, fans of the NFL. Do you love your team so much it hurts? Ugh, same. Go Browns.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Did you commit a misdemeanor crime when you were 12 and need to tell somebody about it? Please, for the love of Roger Goodell, do not tell me. I can be held accountable. Guys, this podcast is going to be so fun. I can't wait to get started. Find the Benched with Bonetta podcast coming January 25th on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There you go. What a mistake to give me my own podcast.
I made the trailer.
Will you guys please come on the show at some point? Can I get a yes? You have to say yes because it's on television.
Talk to my reps.
Listen, I've already subscribed. I subscribed a couple days ago.
There you go. You can scan this QR code to subscribe. It'll pop up somehow, the magic of the internet. I'm very excited. It comes out next week, and I hope that you guys all listen. All right, next on Game Day View, just how many points are happening in that big Bills-Chiefs game? Totals are after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Better subscribe.
right, it is time for something new, and we're asking all of you, who's coming with me? We have got some picks we love, hot takes, or just outrageous ideas for Sunday, and all we want to know is who is coming with me. Greg, do you want to start this thing off?
I will, and I'm going to predict that Dawson Knox gets a touchdown this week. Who's coming with me? I knew Cynthia would be in, and I just fear being alone, so
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm
matching up against these linebackers, I really do think it's a great mismatch against these Kansas City linebackers this weekend.
All right, are you going with him, Hawk?
I'll go with him.
That's fine. I'll be with just Greg. Greatness starts with a G. Cynthia, what do you like?
Okay, so I like Tom Brady to throw for 3 touchdowns or more, and Gronk to have more than 70 receiving yards. I think these two things go very well together. If you look to see the level of this defense, the Rams defense that is most targetable, it is areas where they will line up with Gronkowski. It's the linebacker level. They're missing safeties. Taylor Rapp is not playing. I think Tom Brady will use quick passes to exploit this, and we know that they tend to pass the ball a little bit more than run the ball from this offense, so I think this is a nice value situation.
I'm not coming.
I'm not going.
No one's
I mean,
coming?
I like
Fine.
you. I'd like to go somewhere with you. I'm not going
It's okay.
there.
I'm fine being alone. I'm fine being alone.
I'd rather go somewhere else with you.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere else. I'm not going. Hawk, what do you like?
I like Jerick McKinnon to have over 100 scrimmage yards for the Kansas City Chiefs. The reason being, I think the Buffalo Bills, who are the #1 defense, are going to take away Travis Kelce down the middle of the field with those incredible safeties. Try to take away Tyreek Hill, and that leaves either McKinnon or Hardman to pick up the slack. Understanding they do have a great pass defense, it's McKinnon. They're going to go to him early and often, both in the short passes and the run game, and he's going to have to try to get loose.
I'll come with you.
Come on, you coming? Who's coming with?
Come with you. I think we need to get creative.
You're with me?
Hawk knows like diminutive, like fat, fast football players. That's his expertise.
Cynthia, you riding along?
Oh no, I'm just gonna go alone somewhere. I'm gonna go. I'm staying alone again on something else.
No, you really have been riding solo this whole show.
Might as well keep it going.
We're giving her all the favorites because she's the favorite.
All right, who's coming with me to Tom Brady? Less than 292.5 passing yards. It's got to end at some point, people. He can't keep on being this incredible human being. I would imagine Donald, this defense, they get extra hungry when they're playing a quarterback like Tom Brady. They are so hot coming off this Cardinals win. I think that they could hold him and shut him down. You coming with me or what?
I'm going to come with you. But not because I think it's going to end anytime soon. Those are famous last words. We say that every year.
You know what? You're right. I do say that every single year.
The runner-up for
Anybody
the
else coming with me? Anybody else?
I don't think I want to come.
Okay. I'm by myself. All right.
You're not by yourself. He went with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically
All right.
being her by herself.
We'll be back in a second. Let's talk point totals.
Prescott throwing that way, and that's going to be caught for the touchdown. A little throw over the top. Ball is caught in the end zone. Touchdown!
Goes toward the end zone. Receiver open. Caught ball. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Snap throw. Going to Graham in the end zone. He's got it for the touchdown. Here's the snap. Rodgers throws left side. Diving grab. Touchdown!
Josh going to throw it on play action. Got a man wide open. Gabriel Davis. Touchdown, Buffalo. Gabriel Davis wide open on play action.
All right, point total time in more or less. We got our foam fingers back. All right, here we go. Let's start with Rams at Bucks. More or less 48.5. I think just about across the board. Greg, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm going less. And, maybe you guys should listen to me because I know they put up that standings at the beginning, the overall records, but they're keeping track of more or less. And there is a more or less king right now.
Really?
And he's got the crown.
Really?
So if I'm on my own, then maybe you should be listening.
Look at, in parentheses, Greg made us show this.
I didn't know you were going to put their
Way to go,
standings.
Greg.
I thought you'd put.
And I was only one behind you, Greg. Let the record
Yeah,
show.
you were only one behind. It was good.
I'm bad at this, so don't listen to me. Bills at Chiefs, more or less 54.5. I am going
barely.
More or less. Cynthia, why are you on the left?
It's just barely. This is not like I don't feel very strong. This is something I would stay away from, but I give my math scores and got to make them all make sense, right? So this one just happens to be less. I don't love it. It's not something like I said, I would just root for fun and I would root for more because it's just trust me on that.
I'm rooting for fun. This might be the most exciting game of the weekend. I'm going to regret saying that, but what do you guys think?
It's got to be because of the quarterbacks, right? Like, they light it up offensively. Why wouldn't they do it this week?
57-15, Greg.
I feel like we've been talking a lot about these two defenses throughout the course of the season, but the defenses are only as good as their opponents, and to me, they're playing two great opponents. The offenses dominate.
All right, Tom Brady, 2.5 passing touchdowns. I'm going less.
I like the value on this one. I like the value on
Okay,
this one.
all right.
Think about the value, people. Come on, Bucks fans, help me out here. I'm all alone in
He's
this
gonna look like a genius
studio
come next
with these
week, okay?
people
Right.
in this studio.
All right, finally, Josh Allen, 1.5 passing touchdown.
Oh, no.
Come on, what is that?
Oh,
That-
across
Put it
the
across
board.
the
Yeah.
board.
Greg,
Even-
you are really feeling Josh Allen this weekend.
Would you go with 3?
How can you not?
Would you
I
go
think
with
I
3?
would go up to 3 with
Up to
Josh
3?
Allen against this
I would say
defense.
one more
A lot of
rushing.
man coverage. A lot of man coverage.
Oh my
think 2.
goodness.
One.
If there is a game to go into overtime this
This
weekend because it's
Gosh,
so
I
close.
hope so.
What do you guys think it's going to be?
This one.
This is
one.
it.
I think
Cap
this
the
one.
weekend. This is the best game of the year. I think the winner of this game wins the Super
The
Bowl.
Sunday night game, it
The
is going to be
Sunday
the
night.
best
Sunday night
one.
game.
It's
This
this
is
one.
the best one, for sure.
Guys, we only have a couple more shows left.
Don't like under. We don't
say
like
that.
that. That's bad. We want more. More shows.
The
We're
most
under 2
important
shows.
shows left.
Enjoy the games.